Okay, so according to all known laws of aviation, yeah, so the second part of the double feature is Clay and I watched Bee Movie last night, which, looking at Jerry Seinfeld's filmography, like, in terms of actual film, it's essentially short cameos, playing himself, and then this. This is, like, his actual, at least, like, on-screen appearances. I mean, on screen, because, it's voice acting. But it's like, this is his contribution to cinema. Bee Movie. I'm gonna say it. And just like the honey that the bees make, this movie is fucking gold. Because I went in. I'm like, I got receipts. You could, like, check previous videos. I said, I'm gonna like Shrek 3 is gonna be better than I think. I did not expect to enjoy it as much as I did, but it definitely was better than I thought, while not being as good as 1 and 2. And I said, Bee Movie is actually going to be really good. I am going to enjoy it. I'm going to think it's funny. I'm going to think it's entertaining. And I'm like, dude, this movie is a fucking trip. It was. This movie is it is a fever dream. It goes in so many different directions. Like, it almost is just like a trip. Like, so, at first it's, oh, okay. He's a bee, he's about to, like, get his job, which is the one thing he's going to do for the rest of his life. He's like, I don't really know what I want to do. I think I want to go see the world first. And you're like, oh, okay, so it's going to be a pretty simple movie, not really knowing what you want, and then kind of by the end realizing, what I had is what I wanted the entire time, which I guess is kind of what it is, because that's what you get by the end of the movie. But not, there's a lot of weird shit in between. So then he ends up going outside. Okay, so, boy, this review is going to be all over the place, man. I don't know what I want to talk about, but there's so much to talk about. I guess a minor thing that I like, I know I was just talking about the story, and now I'm not even doing that anymore. I'm sorry. This movie was just such a weird experience, and I mean it in the best possible way. Like, this is an S-tier movie. I'm just gonna bring that up right now. Yes, I want to say B movie's a B-tier movie to bring up the memes, but I fucking can't. I genuinely loved it. I had so much fun watching this movie. The insane places it went. I had never seen the entire movie before, which I don't think I had said in the Shrek 3 video. I guess I should. I had seen it before and didn't like it. Now watching it again, I did. I had never seen the entire movie. I'd seen clips. I've seen, like, either on YouTube or just kind of, like, watching other people watch it. Because I think one time I was on, like, a bus, and a kid was watching it on the tablet. And so I did, like, my eyes just kind of kept looking at the tablet every now and then. I was like, the bee is sword fighting a guy with a thumbtack? What the fuck is going on here? Is he in, like, a relationship with the woman? What is this? Did they just trank Winnie the Pooh? What is going on here? And now that I've watched it, it's still a fair question. What the fuck is going on? I'm sorry, my brain just, like, stopped for a second. This is so disorganized. I'm sorry, like, I tend, like, okay, so, I am very off the cuff when I am doing these, like, DreamWorks reviews, where it's, like, the day after. I tend to kind of take notes while I'm watching the movie, or right before it, but I just take them on my phone, so I don't have notes that I can, like, constantly check. I did not type, like, anything watching Bee Movie. I was so engrossed and so invested in the insanity I was watching. I don't have any notes, so I don't have anything I'm really referring to. Even with Shrek 3, I took notes during the movie, so a lot of the shit I was talking about just a few minutes ago, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember writing that, I remember thinking that, I kind of have something here. I got nothing. I like their cover of Here Comes the Sun. Sheryl Crow, you do a good job. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. It is my favorite Beatles song. Absolutely love it. So this movie ending with one of my favorite songs and a genuinely nice cover of it, I'm like, this is pleasant. This is great. A bee and a florist try to land a plane because the pilot and co-pilot knock each other out trying to swat the bee. And then the plane gets saved because a bunch of bees show up, like, grab it in the air and are able to fly it. And then the other bees make a giant pulsating black and yellow flower on the ground so the plane knows where to land. This is the climax of the movie. There's a court case against John Goodman about the bees suing the human race for stealing all of their honey. And this is probably like 25 to 30 minutes. It's a big chunk of the movie. And there's a part where John Goodman's character talks about like his enormous buttocks and is like basically twerking in front of the jury. And Matthew Broderick B, who is Jerry Seinfeld B's best friend, fucking stings him. And he has the most over-the-top rate, like, I have been stung. Cause like, that's the fucking voice he has. It's like this over-the-top southern drawl. Like, I've been assaulted in this courtroom. Can you believe what the opposing counsel has done to me? Oh, my great heaving buttocks. You're like, what the fuck am I watching? I am so engrossed. This is incredible. Renee Zellweger is the woman, and like, she's so bizarrely down for everything that's happening. I think it's hilarious. She's in a relationship with Patrick Warburton. And as soon as he started talking, I was like, Clay, this is a rhetorical question, but does Patrick Warburton just make everything he's in immediately better? I love this dude. I love this. I can't do a Patrick Warburton impression, but him yelling, "That bee has stolen my life," is so funny. And also just kind of heartbreaking. It's like, but it's supposed to be yogurt night. Why is yogurt night so hard? Like, what? Chris Rock plays a mosquito who has like 3 minutes of screen time, and it's all great. And at the very end of the movie, he's joined the law firm because that's a thing. And he's like, I was already a blood-sucking parasite. All I needed was a briefcase. As a lawyer, I think that joke's hilarious. Like, what have I not talked about? This movie's so fucking weird, man. The entire reason he goes outside, okay, so part of it is, like, I don't want to be stuck with one job for my entire life. I kind of want to go out, like, figure out some shit, and then come back and, commit to something. But it's also because the pollen jocks, who are, like, the really big bees who are bred for the job, come back covered in pollen. Some of it gets on Barry, who's Jerry Seinfeld B, and Adam, which I think is the name of Matthew Broderick B. And they're like, hey, we're covered in pollen. Maybe we can go pick up some girls. So they talk to some girls for a bit. And then the pollen jocks are like, hey, get a load of these assholes. And they go up to them and they're like, hey, guys, like, crazy day out there, right? Yeah. Hey, if you guys think you're bee enough, maybe you should come tomorrow and hang out with us. And then Benson's like, or Barry Benson. He's like, you know what? I will. And then it's something I really like is how at first they're like, they're giving him a hard time. Like, all right, you guys are impersonating us. Like, I get it. But I mean, come on, assholes. But then when Barry shows up, they're like, what do you know? He actually showed up. You know what, dude? Respect. We're going to take you out. We're kind of going to show you what you got to do. Here's the things you do. Here's the things you don't do. Like, I actually really liked that vibe. At first, they just seem like bullies. And they're like, nah, you showed up. Respect. You're cool, man. I really liked that. I don't know what else to say. I'm kind of blanking on other things in the movie. I mean, that's basically it. He goes out, meets a human being, they become really good friends, and possibly something more. Patrick Warburton gets jealous of a talking bee, and at one point tries to kill him. Which is a really funny scene. He learns that humans eat honey, like they eat bee honey, goes on this adventure to discover how they are taking bee honey, Vincent the bear from Over the Hedge shows up a couple times in the movie. Then he sues, he being Barry, not Vincent, sues the human race for stealing all of their honey. There is this long, drawn-out court case, and it's like, okay, like, none of this would fucking fly in a real court, but, also, like, there's that very small part of me saying that, but then also, there is so much shit in the movie that makes no real-life logical sense, and that's fine. It's not trying to. This is a movie operating on its own fever dream, crazy, high on mushrooms logic. So I don't give a shit. I'm down for all of it. They want to fly a plane, let's go for it. But so they sue the human race. The bees win. They get their honey back. They're essentially get to take their, like, they're like, oh, we actually get to take a day off. This is weird, but we think we like it. But because the bees aren't working and flying, all the fucking flowers are dying, and then so Barry's florist friend is like, Vanessa, that's her name, she's like, I mean, all the fucking flowers are dying, you're kind of destroying the planet. Oh, well, shit. I just wanted us to get our honey back, like, I want to be able to take a day off, I didn't think this shit would happen. Well, we gotta fix this, so they steal a flower float from Pasadena, get the flowers on an airplane so they can fly to, I don't even remember where they were trying to fly to. But then the plane is gonna crash because okay, so I'm trying to actually remember, like, what causes this. It's like, he goes in, I think, to kind of tell them, hey, like, we got flowers on board. There's kind of some shit we got to do with this, but they don't listen. They try to attack him because they're like, ah, shit, a bee! And they knock each other out, so he and Vanessa have to fly the plane. But then this all ends up on the news, both human news and bee news, because there's a human Larry King and a bee Larry King. I really like that bit, by the way. And then the bees help them and successfully land the plane, and then they pollinate the world while Here Comes the Sun is playing. That's the movie. I clearly really liked it. I don't know if Clay did. Clay doesn't know if Clay did. He's like, bro, what the fuck am I watching throughout the movie? And I'm like, I don't know either, but I'm enjoying every damn second of it. And by the end, he's like, I don't know if this is like an S tier movie or an F tier movie. I don't know if I loved this insanity or if I hated this insanity. I just don't know. I'm like, I get it. It's understandable. I had a good time personally. I can only really give my own, I mean, I just talked about his, but like, speaking solely for myself, this was great. I do not think I can in good faith say this is the best one because I've seen Puss in Boots 2. And I don't know if I can say, yes, I like Bee Movie more than Prince of Egypt. I like it more than Shrek 2. Excuse me. But to me, it's surprisingly in that conversation. I genuinely had that much fun with it. And I feel like, yeah, the movie, like, does not really make sense. But its own world and its own logic is so batshit crazy that I was just having fun and following it. Like, it's so creative with all its ideas and just seeing where it's going. I'm like, because I knew what happened in the movie. It's Bee Movie. It's been memed to hell. You've probably seen a good chunk of it, even if you don't realize that you have. It's like, I know the things that happen. I know the plot progression. If I didn't, I would have had no idea where the hell this movie was going. I would have been so confused. And I think that's what happened with Clay, because he really didn't. He's like, wait, I thought the court case was like the entire movie. What do you mean there's like 30 minutes left? It's like, yeah, the fucking world dies. Oh gosh, the drinking Winnie the Pooh scene I think is so funny. Yeah, I think it's great. It feels really weird to come out of a double feature and think, wow, I enjoyed both movies a lot, and one of them was amazing. we have to do another double feature at some point, because that's the tradition. We try to watch 2 bad movies in a row. But man, it backfired here. One I liked and one I loved. What we were talking about for the next double feature depends, this is a weird sentence to say, depends on the quality of Boss Baby 1. Because Clay, so we were talking about, it's like, all right, do we want to, when we get to Boss Baby, do we want to do a double feature or we just watch Boss Baby 2? We'd be watching Boss Baby 2 early, but do we want to do these 2 back to back? Because these sound terrible. And I don't know, I've never seen them. I don't think I've seen like the trailers and that's it. Maybe they're both hilarious. I don't know. B-Movie was amazing. So what we have decided is, okay, if Boss Baby 1 is ass, then we are doing them both back to back. If we watch Boss Baby 1 and we're like, you know what? That was fine. And especially also if we're like, fuck, it was actually really good. Or, you know what? It's fine. It's not terrible. Then we won't do a double feature with it. Instead, we will watch Boss Baby 2 when it shows up and do a double feature with Spirit 2, which is right before it, that reviews of it aren't good. So it's either going to be Boss Baby and Boss Baby 2 or Spirit 2 and Boss Baby 2. I kind of want to do Spirit 2 and Boss Baby 2 because that just sounds like awful. But hey, I thought Shrek the Third and B-Movie was not going to be a pleasant combination. Despite the fact that I honestly called it, I'm still shocked that I got it right. But B-Movie, it's great.